Hi students, it's Mr. Morgan here. Just wanted to go ahead and give you some video directions on how to complete your Cell Organelles digital booklet project. It is a Google Slide project, so you'll do it all in the Google Slides, and then you'll submit it to me, okay? So when you get onto, when you click into your assignment, what you're going to see first are 3 directions slides. And then on slide number 4, that's when you're going to start your project. So make sure that you read all the directions. I'm going to read them to you right now, but make sure you reread them before you start so that you have a good idea of what you're doing before you get started. So I'm just going to quickly read over all of it, clarify some things, show you an example, and then hopefully you'll understand what you need to do in order to complete the assignment correctly and do it well. So here's the first slide. It says, "Dear students, Celebration Publishing is accepting manuscripts for their exciting new series of children's books about cells. You may have heard talk about how important STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is to our future. We at Celebration Publishing believe that we need to educate our youth about basic cell biology beginning in elementary school. Our target audience is elementary students grades 3 to 5. Celebration Publishing has researched the availability of books for children about cellular anatomy and found that there is a huge demand for these books, but very few are available on the market at this time. Specifically, we are looking for books that examine how the organelles of the cell work together as a system using analogies. Analogies would be used to compare the organelles of a cell to parts of another system that elementary students already understand, such as a school, factory, farm, city. I'm going to throw in a car, a hospital, whatever you can come up with, a company, a business, anything that you want to use in order to compare a cell to. You are not limited to these choices. We are looking for accuracy above all, but please be creative." And then we get to slide number 2 here. So pretty much, let me just paraphrase that. What you're doing is you are going to take an animal cell or a plant cell. I don't care which one you choose, just choose one. And you are going to compare the parts or the organelles of that cell to the parts of a different system. All right. So in my example that you'll see in just a minute, I compared a cell to a school. So then I took the parts of a cell, and in each slide, I compared them to the parts of a school. So I was consistent, okay? I didn't jump around to different systems. Once I picked school, I'm going to choose the parts of a school to compare to a cell. If you choose a car, then you have to use the parts of a car to compare to a cell. If you choose a city, then you use the parts of a city to compare to a cell, all right? And then hopefully when you see the example here in just a minute, you'll have a better idea of what you need to do. So each organelle, I'm starting to read from the top here, each organelle and analogy should be presented across 2 pages or two sides of a Google slide. On the left side, include an image of the slide. So these are the 4 things you're going to need on the left side: an image of the organelle, the name of the organelle, a definition of the organelle, and the function of the organelle. And then on the right side, you're going to include an image of the part of the system you are comparing it to, the name of that part, and then you're going to describe how it relates to the organelle. Your analogies should follow this simple format here. The mitochondria provides energy for the cell. So that's the part of the cell here, the mitochondria, all right? And the mitochondria provides energy for the cell in the same way that the power lines provide energy for the factory. You see the connection there? Mitochondria is then being connected to power lines, right? Because mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, provides energy in the same way that power lines provide energy for a factory. All right. So notice the parallel language in the example above. Please use this format throughout your book. A minimum of 8 organelles are required for each book submission. We would like to see the nucleus, cell membrane or cell wall, rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi body, mitochondria, vacuoles, and lysosomes. Additional organelles are worthy of bonus points. Your first slide should include a labeled image of an entire animal or plant cell, and then which is going to be on the left side, and then the system being compared on the right. So just an image of a cell and then the image of the system you are comparing it to. We expect for you to complete this project by LP6. Be creative and have fun. Sincerely, Celebration Publishing. So those are your directions on page or slide number 3. Just clarify it here a little bit more. Make sure you compare the organelles of the cell to one system. For example, if you choose to compare the cell to a car, make sure you compare each organelle to parts of a car. If you choose a factory, then compare the cell organelles to parts of a factory. Don't jump around. Don't choose a car part, a factory part, a city part, a part of a cell phone. Once you choose the system, you need to be consistent with that system, okay? The titles for each slide are already filled in for you, so you don't have to do that, okay? However, you are encouraged to change the format, so you can change the font, the color, the background, whatever you want to your liking as long as it's appropriate. You can use your textbook to help you, pages 88 through 95, or the internet. I recommend that you do both. Read those pages in the textbook so you can have an understanding of the organelles, and then go online and look things up, all right? Remember, you need to choose a minimum of 8 organelles to compare. You can do more for extra points. Do not copy from your textbook or the internet. Make sure everything is in your own words. And then if you click on this link here, it will take you to the example that I have for you. And then if you still have questions, make sure that you contact Mr. Morgan, all right? So my office hours are every Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 3. You can find that Zoom link in Science Google Classroom, or you can call or text me. We can schedule a time that works well for both of us, okay? So again, you're comparing the parts of a cell to the parts of another system. So here's my example. I chose a school. You are not allowed to choose school. You need to choose a different example for yours. So Cell Organelles Digital Booklet Project, comparing an animal cell to a school by Mr. Morgan. First slide, I have my entire animal cell here on the left side, and then on the right side, I have a picture of a school. Okay, so here's the first organelle, which is a nucleus. So I wrote here that the nucleus directs all the cell's activities, including reproduction. It is known as the control center of the cell. All right, and then on my right side, I was thinking, what part of a school would I connect to the nucleus? Well, I chose a school principal. And why? I chose a school principal because a school principal, right here I have written, is like the nucleus because he controls what goes on in the school. In the same way that the nucleus directs or controls the cell, a school principal directs or controls a school. You see that connection there? Okay, slide number 2 here, or number 3. Cell membrane or cell wall. The cell membrane forms the outside boundary that separates the cell from its environment. The cell membrane controls what goes in and out of the cell. In the same way, right, a school fence around the school is like the cell membrane because it controls who can come in and out of the school. So again, I have my picture, my description, my function, and my description. And then I have the name of the organelle. And then on the right side, I have the name of what I'm comparing it to, a description, how this connects to this. And then I have a picture of that, okay? And then in my next slide here, rough endoplasmic reticulum, I connected to the school hallways. Ribosomes, I connected to the school cafeteria. Here I only have 4 organelles. You will need to do 8, all right? And then again, if you want to do more, you can do more for bonus points. So hopefully you understand what you need to do by now. Again, if you're still having trouble, make sure you contact Mr. Morgan. Let me know if you have questions, if you need some clarification, and I'll be happy to help you.